What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Jeremy Wormy, and I'm coming at you with another video, and we're going down memory lane real quick when we come over here to, a long list of canceled or deleted iterations of different Star Wars movies. You got Rangers of the New Republic. You got Dan and Dave's movie that was a prequel trilogy of some sort. Oh yeah, going to be like the first Jedi and everything, the first lightsaber and stuff like that. You had the Obi-Wan Kenobi trilogy that then got put into a movie, a single movie that then became just a solo series. You had the Boba Fett movie that then became a series. Star Wars Detours, which I've never heard of, so there's that. Colin Trevor's Star Wars, Mystery Projects, Kevin Feige's Star Wars, Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron, Rian Johnson's trilogy. The list goes on and on with different iterations of different Star Wars projects. I come over here to even more. At one point, we were going to get a Snyder Star Wars, which ended up becoming Rebel Moon, by the way. Well, why am I bringing this up? Why am I talking about that? Well, you come over here to this rumor: Charmin Obaid-Chinoy's new Jedi Order film starring Daisy Ridley does not have a script, and on top of that, rumor: Charmin Obaid-Chinoy's Rey film delayed indefinitely due to creative differences with screenwriter Stephen Knight. Here's the sad reality. Even though that all these are rumors and they could be total BS and, people could just be talking out their butt, the sad reality is they could be true. It adds up that any of these situations could be true. The reason why I showed both this one and this one is simply because they both will revolve around Stephen Knight being their writer. And in one iteration, Stephen Knight doesn't have a script yet. And the other iteration, you have Stephen Knight basically not being able to write at all due to the fact that he's getting noted to death. And he wants to go off and work on his own movie, which will be the Peaky Blinders movie that's coming to Netflix. That's right. Let's start with this one, for instance. A new rumor alleges that Stephen Knight, who was tapped to write a script for Charmin Obaid-Chinoy's new Jedi Order film starring Daisy Ridley as Rey, has not completed his script yet. Yeah, you come down here to this person. This new rumor comes from Jason Ward at Making Star Wars. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know how credible he is, but let's at least get his rumor first, and then we'll go to the other rumor. He shared, "Today I was told that Knight hasn't got to get to it. Hasn't got to get to it. The scheduling, the stars did not align. Stephen Knight was simply the person that if they picked up who they could get in that moment, and then it never lined up." Ward clarified, not saying he's off of it, not saying he's gonna write it or not gonna write it. I don't know. He then shared his own thoughts, but if you wanted my opinion on it, I think Knight writing that movie it's either been moved to give Knight the opportunity to write it, or it's going to be a different writer. I mean, I know that's saying nothing at all. I realize I did say nothing just now, but those are really the two options that are going forward based off of what we got. I think this one here is a little BS in my opinion, because the dude literally said nothing. I don't know what's going on here. The fact that there might not be a script right now doesn't actually shock me at all. It's more of a possible reality considering how Disney Star Wars acts in regards to like actually putting out products. Again, I show you like Rian Johnson's trilogy, Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron, Kevin Feige's Star Wars. Like the list goes on and on for projects that they've promised to put out and never put out. But this one I feel is more legitimate. Rumor: Charmin Obaid-Chinoy's Rey delayed indefinitely due to creative differences between the screenwriter and Stephen Knight. This one sounds more legitimate considering the amount of projects that have been like delayed, pushed aside, delayed indefinitely. Rian Johnson again. and on and on and on with all these things. You've had Stephen Knight before. I think it was no, it wasn't Stephen Knight. It was another guy who actually was working on I want to say it was Force Awakens, and he ended up getting noted to death constantly over and over again, to the point that one of the comments was, hey, you have Luke Skywalker is taken away from all of our new characters and he can't be in there. So it doesn't shock me that this one might have a little bit more legitimacy to it. Does that mean the movie's going to be delayed indefinitely? I don't know. I think it's probably just going to be delayed for a little while. But we come down here. This new report comes from World of Reels Jordan Remy, who I don't know who this guy is either. He reports, I've been told that Disney has delayed the film indefinitely, which is why they surprised everyone last week and decided to announce The Mandalorian and Grogu as the next Star Wars movie. Rhimes added, they just don't have confidence that the new Jedi Order will be happening in the near future. As for why, he shared, the problem seems to reside in creative differences between screenwriter Stephen Knight and Lucasfilm, I'm told. That a draft had originally been written for the film, but Lucasfilm gave him so many notes that he had to start from scratch. Given this, Remy, whatever, is hearing Knight might exit the project, explaining his frustration has grown. He's put Star Wars on the back burner and is now focusing on his screenplay for his Peaky Blinders movie, which is supposed to go into production in the fall. I feel like this one has more legitimacy solely because, yes, he has a movie coming out here soon, a movie that is also having its own issues and stuff. This is more of a movie that I think people are going to like, considering Peaky Blinders is actually kind of a fun show over on Netflix itself. But let's take this into account. I think the movie's going to come out. I stand by my position that this movie will eventually come out because they're putting so much behind it. But there's also another rumor going around, and I can't find the source on this rumor or something. I heard it from Gary of Nerdrotic, so he's the one that's doing this. That whole CNN, piece that Charmaine put out and everything that got this whole ball rolling and stuff. Yeah, apparently that was her own PR team that decided to go through CNN and not Disney Star Wars. Yeah, because they don't know what's going on with this movie at all. They don't know what's happening with this movie. They don't know where it's going to go. So it also makes sense considering Charmaine had to work on Marvel. She didn't like her time there, then got put over at Lucasfilm, and she probably isn't liking her time there either. Again, all these are rumors. All these are speculative. Take them with a grain of salt to the best of your ability. I just think the movie's probably going to be delayed a little bit. I do think eventually it's going to come out because they're putting too much backing behind it. So that's my 2 cents on all this, and that's my thought on it. I just find it funny that yet again, we're talking about a possibility that this movie doesn't come out and will possibly be put up with a long line of other Disney Star Wars projects that have never been released and probably will never be released. I also forgot this. Damon Lindelof also had a Rey film at one point that got canceled. So you also got that whole thing to remind you about. So on that note, guys, let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you guys all on the next one. Bye for now.